This is Weekend Winners, and we're focusing on Albion Park Harness Racing on Saturday night. It's a 10-race program. Action starts at 5:12. A really good free-for-all, which is race number 4, Stallion Galleria Gate 1. We've got Northview Hustler back in action, and Mac Da Vinci, who scored last week, drawn out in Gate 7. So that's going to be the highlight, but there's plenty of other strong races on this program. Taleah, McMullen and Angus, Garrard, they're about to join me to go through their book of drives for this weekend. Taleah McMullen now joins us to go through her book of drives for Saturday night, and she's in the hot seat now. Taleah, appreciate the time.
Thank you.
We start with race 2. Pick-up drive here for you with the concession claim. Rockin' with Elvis, a good drive to get.
Yeah, it's a really nice pick-up drive. He's been racing really well, so it'll be good to be on him Saturday night.
This is a high-quality race. There's several in-form runners, but it has been cut about by scratchings. Rocks or Diamonds, What's Up Sunshine, General Montana, all come out. So effectively, you'll start from Gate 2. That's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely the scratchings help. Gate 2 is still a little bit tricky. Obviously really like Cashed Up, but if we could find the front, then I think he'll definitely take some running down.
This guy hasn't put in a bad one since being up here in Brisbane, always puts in, and he was really strong here last week.
Yeah, he was. He's been racing really well, so yeah, I'm excited to be able to drive him.
Okay, it's only going to be a small field now with those scratchings, but it should generate tempo, and that's going to suit him. I think the faster they go, the better he is.
Yeah, definitely. The small field does help if we do happen to get too far back. At least the scratchings make it a little bit easier. Shouldn't be too far away.
All right. Well, that's Rockin' with Elvis in race 2. Race 3 for the mares. Each and every week, these mares races, they're not easy. Sport Mental is your drive in race 3. Is this your first time sitting behind this mare?
Yeah, it is. So see what happens, but she's been racing good. There's obviously some nice mares drawn to her inside, but hopefully we can get some sort of luck and run a nice race.
Yeah, and just talking about those mares to your inside, they're sort of gate speed mares as well. That makes it a bit tricky for you early.
Yeah, it does. Just have to look to see if maybe there's a spot there. Otherwise, hopefully the tempo will be strong early and might be able to run home nicely.
All right, well, that's Sport Mental in race 3. We go across to race 5. Oyster Stride, you know this guy well. This looks really open. How do you assess this race and your drive?
Yeah, we'll probably need some luck again there, but he's been racing really well, so if we do find a bit of luck, I think he'll be there in the finish. Just hoping to get a nice spot early.
Okay, just on that, do you sort of let him run the gate early, or you just try and grab up and slot in straight away?
I think maybe just let him poke out for a little bit and see if there's any spots there. Obviously, it's really hard when you grab up and go straight back. Sometimes you miss a spot, and if you end up last on these races on a Saturday night, then it's really quite hard to make up ground.
Is he better suited at the mile or Saturday night's distance of 2,138 metres?
I don't think it really worries him too much. He seems to race pretty well over either distance.
Okay, well that's Oyster Stride. Let's go across to race 7. Here's another pickup drive for you on Saturday night with the claim. Bella Ball Terror. Again, I'll ask this question. First time sitting behind him?
Yeah, another one that I haven't driven before, so it'll be a night of first.
He's going well though, this horse.
Yeah, his run last week was really good. Obviously, it was a pretty strong tempo and they went 52 and he was running to the line really nicely. So hopefully there's a bit of speed on again and we get a nice trip because off of his run last week, he should be in this race.
Yeah, sectionally he's been really sound at his past 5 or 6 starts now. From gate 6 though on Saturday night, likely to just drift back?
I think so. Obviously, I haven't spoken to them yet about it, but that's kind of what he did last week and had a bit of, I think he was first 3 wide last week, so he did it pretty tough. So if we happen to get a nice track into it, I think he could go close.
Yeah, it's a good quality race. There's several here that are going quite well, so that's going to generate tempo, and I'm sure you'd be happy if they went hard early here. Yeah,
definitely. The speed was really on last week, and he seemed to thrive off of that. So hopefully that happens again this week.
All right, well, that's Bella Ball Terror going around there in race number 7, just missing out last week. Behind Better Than Diamonds, a close-up third. Race number 8, Gonna Need a Margarita. Is this the right mare's race for her on the weekend?
I don't know. I hope so. She's been a bit disappointing. I know she has the ability to win, and if she wanted to do it, then she definitely could, but she just doesn't always have the right frame of mind when she goes out there and doesn't put it all together. And I think she's probably a lot better on the front end and especially on the fence. So I don't think it's probably ideal for her, but we'll see what she does this week when she goes out.
Okay, when the field was released and you looked at it, did you feel that she was the class runner of the field?
Oh, not particularly, off of a few previous runs. Yeah, she definitely hasn't been going up to expectations, and I think we're hoping to win a mare's cure and breed from her pretty soon because she's not putting it together on the racetrack.
Okay, so you are frustrated then by the sound of it?
Yeah, I know she has the ability and she is quite a nice mare, and off of her work at home you'd think she'd go out there and win pretty easy, but she doesn't seem to do that at the races.
All right, well, fingers crossed there with Gunanita Margarita that she turns up and she's focused. The last race on Saturday night, this is a good quality trot, mobile start. The favourite here, from your point of view, is Red Castleton, and he's got a nice trailing draw, 2 off the second row. How do you assess this race?
Probably still need a bit of luck. He's had a few weeks in between runs, so probably needs to run a little bit. But he's got a nice draw there and won't have to do too much work early, and he seems really well within himself, so hopefully an improved run off of his previous couple.
Okay, well, Sir Fahrenheit's the class there, but he's fresh up as well, so, you know, it probably evens the playing field a little bit.
Yeah, there's a few nice trotters in it. Makes it bit tricky when you're drawn behind them and have to come from back in the field, but hopefully he just gets a nice run, and yeah, don't want to kill him too much this week because he probably will need the run.
Okay, but indications from his track work that, you know, he's progressing nicely?
Yeah, he seems really well and a lot like himself, so hopefully he produces something good.
All right, well, it's going to be a busy night for you there on Saturday night. At this early point, which one are you most looking forward to?
I'd say Rockin' with Elvis, just because he's been so good since he's been up here. I think he's probably a class runner, so hopefully we get some luck there.
All right, race 2, number 4, Rockin' with Elvis for Taleah McMullen. Taleah, as always, really appreciate the time, and we'll see you trackside.
Thank you.
Angus Garrard slides into the hot seat to go through his book of drives on Saturday night. Angus, appreciate the time.
No worries, thanks for having me, Chris.
We've got you there all night on Saturday night. You're in the first, you're in the last, and let's start with Say It Ain't So Joe, who backs up after scoring on Tuesday. He went off at fairly generous odds there. Did that victory surprise you in any way, shape or form?
Not really. Colin sort of found a little issue with him after his previous run. He got that right, and he had a trial here at Redcliffe. He trialled behind Convey Hustler and Soho Sinatra and finished off pretty well. So Colin was pretty confident he'd raced well, and so was I, and he certainly raced up to expectations.
You were forced to cover a little bit of ground there over the latter stages, but he was strong. He kept attacking the line.
Yeah, that's right. He definitely found the line super.
So this is a step up from what you beat there on Tuesday. How's he going to handle that class rise?
Yeah, no, I think he'll handle it. 2100 should suit him as well. Probably we'll just drive him sort of similar. In saying that, we've just got to see how the race pans out. But I do think it's sort of there for the taking if we get the right trip.
Okay, you've got a speedster drawn to your inside and Glenletty commanded. There's obvious pace drawn to your outside. So by and large, you should end up in a fairly good spot here.
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully we can get a nice helmet to follow and sweep over the top of them like Tuesday.
Okay. Just the fact that you mentioned the 2,138 metres, is there any sort of, you know, nagging doubt with him at a strong 2,138 metres?
No, I don't think so. I really think a strong 2100 should suit him more than a really strong mile, to be honest.
Okay. Let's go across to race 5 now. This starts the main quarter on Saturday night. Your drive is next pick for the family. What did you make of last week? Sectionally, I thought he was really good.
Yeah, we were really happy with him. I thought he was super. Carried a flat tyre from about the 600 as well, and he really moved awesome when I had to pull 4 wide there at about the quarter. And he probably ran out of puff a little bit late, but he's still stuck on good. And as you said, his sectionals were super.
That adds merit to the performance, knowing that he had that flat tyre over the latter part.
Yeah, 100%. He should improve a fair bit off that run too. He blew up pretty big and definitely needed the run.
Okay, that's interesting because you know, he trialled really well prior to that start last week. So is the real next pick coming back? Are you confident that you've got him right this campaign?
Yeah, we think so. We've made a few little changes with his gear, and he seems a lot sharper lately. His work was super up to that trial, and he's really trained on well since the trial and the run. So hopefully he can keep stepping up, and hopefully we'll find something on that Q-Bred night for him.
No standout in this field on Saturday night. Looks really open.
No, that's right, and he's another one. I think the 2100 should suit him. you know, he's not the strongest horse, so we've sort of got to drive him the same. But if the race does pan out nice, I think he'll wouldn't surprise me to see him win.
Okay, you're drawn directly behind Falcons. He went quite good last week, Falcons, so he probably looms as one of the biggest rivals here.
Yeah, that's right. He did go good. It's sort of a nice place to be in the run. We've sort of got a close eye on him wherever he ends up, so we'll just have to play it by ear.
All right, race 6, this race for the mares, and these mares races on a Saturday night are quite hard. Dig your heels in as your drive, and this mare's going really well. She's been placed the last 4, and like Nick's pick, sectionally, she was really strong last start. Do you rate her chances here?
Yeah, I think so. We're probably going to be a little bit dependent on luck, I think. She's not blessed with brilliant gate speed, but as you said, her sectionals have been really good, and she's certainly been racing well.
Okay, do you expect a lot of early pressure here? Uptown and Beach Girl, and then, you know, even Pearl Harbor showed really good speed last week. They might all come charging out here by the look of it.
Yeah, that's right. It looks like there's a stack of speed on that front line, so hopefully we can sort of hold a forward enough position, and I think if it pans out, she's definitely good enough.
Okay, well, you give her a really good chance. Dig your heels in. Another runner for Colin Godden is Mahindi in race number 8. She was beaten as favourite on Wednesday night at Redcliffe. How did you assess that performance?
I wasn't disappointed with the run. She probably doesn't really handle the Redcliffe track that great. She got a little bumpy on the last 2 corners, out 3 wide, and they did run a really strong last half. And her sectionals were still good, so I wasn't disappointed. She's probably got a little way to go. She's a bit green still, but she wouldn't surprise if she bobbed up in this race.
Okay. I thought she had a good chance here, Mahindi, and just looking at it, it's for the lower end sort of mare's grade on a Saturday night, but gate 4, how does this play out early here?
Yeah, it's pretty tricky to be honest. I'll just have to have a talk to Colin close to the race and see what he wants to do, but more than likely we'll just have to let her come out how she wants and sort of have a look across and decide what we do.
All right, well, that's Mahindi and race 8. And the last race, this is a good quality trot to wrap up the program here. Sir Fahrenheit, he's the reigning trotter of the year, and he's back in action. His trial last week, we'll have a look at this trial in just a moment, but it looked very good to the eye. How did it feel being out there sitting behind him?
Yeah, he was good. He sort of felt like he was getting back to where he was when he was in that purple patch last time, so you know, hopefully he races up to expectations on Saturday night.
All right. Now, sectionally, did he surprise you in any way last week? He was able to rattle off some really good splits, so were you surprised in any way?
Yes and no. I thought he'd need the trial, but in saying that, I was sort of happy to see him do that. And he did it well too, you know, I never turned the whip and never pulled the plug, so he'll definitely take improvement off that trial.
Okay. How do you sort of rate the opposition here? Is Van Sank that the hardest to beat, or do you think there's a number of rivals that you'll be keeping the eye out on?
Yeah, you know, Van Sank's been racing well, but it's a strong race across the board, really, so, you know, he's certainly good enough, but I don't really know what we'll do yet, so, you know, any one of these could probably take it and it wouldn't surprise too much.
All right, you missed a couple of those big trotting features during the recent Tab Constellations. What have we got in plan for Sir Fahrenheit over the next couple of months?
You know, we'll just get back to the races. We'll be happy to see him back at the races and hopefully going well. And we'll probably have a look. We've got a couple that we probably want to take down for the Breeders' Challenge in October, and I think there's a trot race at Menangle there, so we may look at taking him down for a few runs there, but other than that, we'll just sort of poke along as we usually do and look forward to the summer.
I'm tipping you'd be liking that possibility of getting him on that big track at Menangle.
Yeah, 100%. I think he'd love that. You know, at his best, I think he's good enough to hold his own anyway.
All right. Picky your drives on Saturday night?
I think Nick's pick can go very close, but of course I'm looking forward to Sir Fahrenheit being back at the races too.
All right, race 5, race 10, we'll take both. Angus, as always, really appreciate the time, and we'll see you trackside.
No worries. Thanks, Chris.
As always, a big thanks to both Taleah and Angus giving up their time and insights ahead of this weekend's racing at Albion Park. Time now for a good gamble. I think we strike nice and early. Race 2, number 1, cashed up. He finally draws a gate. There's a few early scratchings here, and I think it maps kindly for him, so he's the obvious one for me. Race 2, number 1, cashed up. Remember, if you are gambling this weekend, please do so responsibly. We'll see you trackside on Saturday night, the first of 10 at 5:12.